has done good on my. Wanted to tell you.
He's disappeared then.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. By the way, I increased my hit points by not rolling a die this time.
Okay.
I just said 7 plus 4.
Okay.
I'm not sure actually if rolling a die is really interesting at this point. I didn't realize that it was 7 base plus your constitution.
Yeah.
Insane. So you basically have like less than 50% chance to get a better roll with your die.
Yeah. It's just some people enjoy rolling die, like I do. Like I'll roll it regardless. But
Yeah.
God, I just got off a phone call and put my stupid headphones back on at full volume. I can barely hear you guys.
Is it?
I mean, you're okay.
Is it a Windows setting problem? Like maybe
It might be. That's what I'm trying to dig through. But they changed the like sound settings recently,
I can tell you how to do it the quickest way. You right click on your little like speaker icon in the bar. You go on Open Sound Settings, and then when the thing that opens on the top right there's the Sound Control panel, and that's the.
Yeah. So I've found my way back to that. I can't find anything that's changed though, so I don't really know what the problem is.
Huh? Are you? Yeah, it's a normal like sound device, I guess. Yeah, there's no point.
Well, I've got like a virtual
audio cable.
Basically, yeah. That I run all my shit through, so I can switch around. But I have.
Are you listening to the sound from Discord through your virtual audio cable or not?
Yeah. And I have that. So Discord has its own channel there, and it's maxed.
Are you looking at the right one? Because in this case, you have to go at the recording tab, not the playback tab. And it's in the recording tab that you may want to increase the volume.
Oh, so it's not just Discord. So that's the weird thing. Like I have speakers and I have my headphones. When I'm using my speakers, I always just set it to like the same volume on the little volume knob.
Yep.
But something happened when I updated my PC recently, where all of a sudden my headphones are like wicked quiet.
Oh, that's what you did. You updated your yeah.
Yeah.
The same issue almost every time there's a major Windows update going on. I lose some settings, some sound settings for some reason. It's really fucking...
And I wish I could just boost the headphones a little more, but I don't know if I have a good way to do that in here.
I don't know how to spell that word. How do you spell endeavors? Is it without a U or with a U?
Endeavor.
Oh.
Endeavor. Endeavor.
Really?
I think there's a U in there if you're in Canada.
See, that's what I thought.
Endeavor.
But it always says it's wrong, so I wasn't sure.
Well, I mean, yeah, the internet's always gonna disagree with Canadian spelling. That's.
Oh, really? It's Endeavor, like, oh, okay.
A lot of the sounds like that, where there's like an OR, armor, color, Endeavor, it has a U in British English.
Interesting, like color, yeah, okay, so it's the British spelling, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Oh.
Well, that
to update you guys, if you guys are ready now.
I am ready to kick some ass.
Alright. Paradox and his obsession with ass.
And also, sorry for not being there for 3 weeks, Jesus Christ. Not that I didn't want to play.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, so you're like way behind.
Yeah, so
I don't know. I just leveled up my character, so I should be at least.
Oh,
yeah.
Your character's up to date. So,
yeah,
God, I didn't take notes for a long time.
I got it.
Okay,
yeah,
so
he was at level 5.
So before
he's at level 6 now.
Before we do anything, I just wanted to mention that now I can see up to 1 mile away with no difficulty. And I can see fine details for things no more than 100 feet away from me.
He picked the.
Just so you know,
the eagle thing.
So do not scratch your balls. I'm gonna see everything.
There you go. That's how he's
Caradoc,
using
what
it.
do your eagle eyes see?
What is the dragon doing?
What's the last thing? What's the last thing you remember us doing?
He finished with the witch thing.
Yep, that's basically it.
Yeah.
We went out
So-
of the. If I'm.
Hmm?
You killed
yeah,
Meredith, right? The main witch.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I think so. I think
Yeah,
so.
so you guys killed the main witch, and then you guys were basically deciding to go to Mor-a because, you know, if nothing happens over the next day, then you'd
Oh,
say,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's
I
the thing is
assume
that
that
we
everything's
hadn't-
okay.
We had no idea what we're going to do on the next session. So
Yeah.
yeah, that definitely rings a bell.
Yeah, so you guys decided in the end that Caradoc was going to stand watch as you guys rest in the inn at the Harpy's Perch, and then after that was done, you guys were going to travel by caravan back to Mor-a instead of doing waters or anything else like that. You weren't wanting to wait for that. So you guys ended up grabbing Barnin and Devram, the local farmhand that helped you guys bring the cart over, and the 5 of you, and Keltis as well. 1 second.
Did you get your laundry already?
Yeah, it's already put away and everything.
And Calvus,
Um,
guy from World of War.
So Keltis, your driver, also ended up going with you guys, but he was mostly too intoxicated to do anything. So Zenkor took it upon himself to basically drive the cart. We had a little interaction with Varen where he ended up going hunting and hooked you guys up with some deer and cooked that up and everything. You guys had a large, like basically a whole deer cooked up with a bonfire, and you guys all rested in the forest after the first day of travel.
It was when you said we had interaction with deers. I thought we were talking with them and all.
Yeah. Well, he could if he wanted to, but he ended up killing them instead.
I could. Yeah, fuck you. I'll do what I want. I just murder them and eat them.
Yeah. On the second day, you guys ended up going and finding a clearing, which was this large hilly field in the middle of the Eldham Wood, because you guys were going the original path instead of taking the detour that you guys took the first time. And the path ends up going through this field, which you then discover that is kind of like a home for dinosaurs, a couple of different kinds of dinosaurs. And so they're pretty far away. You guys are relatively safe, and you're trying to figure out what they were from a distance when a white dragon had come in and taken a eating pteranodon and swooped in, grabbed it, and snapped its neck, and on its way carrying it, ice breathed your caravan, as well
Jesus
as all
Christ.
of you guys
Okay,
on it.
did it fly away? Tell me. It flew.
Well, we're gonna get to that. Barnin, quick thinking, decided to not listen to Zenkor, who wanted to speak with it and kind of rationalize with it when it got into earshot. Used a antenna-like object where it was a wand that extended out like a pull-out antenna on a radio, and a blue magical shield ended up popping up, which reduced the damage in half and basically allowed most of you guys to live because everyone but Zenkor decided to get behind it. Unfortunately, it wasn't finished yet, so it ended up breaking it, but it did save you guys, and Zenkor and Keltis ended up getting frozen and unconscious and dying, taking the full brunt of the force. When Zenkor tried to try and like reason with the dragon, it laughed in response and decided to be a dick anyway. And as soon as he used the breath, just flew away, enjoying his hunt. You guys end up breaking, like, once you deal with healing and making sure everyone's okay and not gonna, get hypothermia and die, you guys end up breaking apart the ice and melting the ice to try and free the carriage to be able to continue forward. And that's when you run into the Allosauruses, which were these big, they're like micro Tyrannosaurus Rexes, but they're still considerably larger than you guys. And you dumped your deer out the back of the carriage, and played chicken with it because the path turns and diverges into the forest in between the two of you. So both of you ended up charging at each other and then taking a hard left into the forest in which the trees were too thick for it to walk inside, getting away.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Sounds like a barbarian.
After that day, Zenkor and Varen basically decided, fuck this forest, we're burning it down to the ground if we have to. They didn't have a very good day. And while they were traveling, getting into the next session, but still being within the same day, you guys ended up having Keltis leap out the back of the carriage and just run into the forest. And slowing down and stopping, you find a group of bandits similar to the ones that attacked you on the ship way back in the day, which is technically only like 2.5 weeks ago, but yeah, they ended up setting up an ambush and summoning 2 bearded devils that had serrated spears, and you guys ended up fighting them. During the fight, which seemed pretty easy or like handled and controlled by all of you guys with your now experience compared to the first time you guys faced these bandits, a combination of a bandit mage using darkness as well as the last remaining devil being able to see in darkness ended up comboing Devram, who is bravely and kind of foolishly trying to hold them off for the ranged people of the group. And when the darkness finally cleared at the end of the fight, he was worse for wear, having several serrated wounds pulled out of his body rather than just like clean cuts, and he was far gone by the middle of the fight, and you guys not being able to tell. Varen tried to heal him, but unfortunately he had been gone too long already for healing, and you lost your first companion, I guess, essentially. You guys experienced your first loss and ended up deciding to take him to Mor-a with you and breaking the news to his mother and giving him to the Church of the Divine Order, which is at the very crest of the hill. Mor-a being built kind of similar to San Francisco in the way that it's based off of the dock and then goes up a hill. The Church of the Divine Order is the very peak of said hill, and shining above the rest of the city from seaside view. And you guys traveled up the hill further to the church, and they decided to take him in and prepare the body and everything for the ceremony, which is going to happen the next day. And you guys took the carriage and brought it down to the town center, where Orn and Davos were waiting, and essentially saying, "Hey, Davos said that you guys were coming, but we never really believed him. But you know, you gotta kind of trust a diviner because they have an unfair advantage." You guys ended up getting your pay, some of it going towards a tip to 2 workers that were nearby that were helping you guys count out all the money, because they didn't even think that you would survive to have there be any point of counting out the money. So they did it live right in front of you guys while you ended up talking to Davos and Orn about the whole situation, and you ended up assumedly staying at the Dragon's Head, because you guys did say that you're staying at an inn, or like you're gonna take a rest and everything else like that after that. And Davos told Varen to meet him the next day at some point around noon, to have a talk.
Oh, I thought he said in the morning, like
Yeah.
first thing in the morning.
Well, kind of like late morning, noonish.
Noon's that? The day's half over by then, Sonny.
He's busy, man. He's got a lot of shit to do. But yeah, also shortly after that, there's also the ceremony. If everything goes according to plan, is what the brother was kind of saying, is like, this is last minute. I'm gonna try my best to make sure I get all the people, and if everything goes smoothly, I can hold the ceremony the next day. So he's kind of just last minute prepping and everything. And I think that's it for you guys. So now you each have your 500 gold. Save a little bit that Zencor used to tip the 2 workers, and I guess the 2 gold cost to stay at the Dragon's Head as well. Assuming that you guys had a meal at some point, because you guys hadn't really been eating.
Yeah, I think the plan was to get like dinner at the inn and then get rooms and chill out.
Yeah, let's get some drink.
All right.
And I think obviously Caradoc was paying because he was under my control.
Really? What?
Oh, that's
and he just got 500 gold, so he was feeling generous.
What the? What? How did that even happen? What the fuck?
It's fine. You have more gold than Varen anyway. Don't worry about it.
Guess, well, you have also. Jesus Christ. Whatever.
All right.
Isn't it like 1 gold for like
It's
a nice meal and a room for the night?
It'd be like 2 if you weren't drinking, which I assume you guys might not be. It depends on how you deal with bullshit.
Unclear. I don't know.
It's up to you guys. Speaking of, let me check what day of the week it is. Because
Sunday?
Yeah, I get that, but I meant you guys had a 2.5 day travel. You guys did 4 days. Saturday in the game. So yeah, it's Jensen, Marion, Hodge, and Grayson. So you see Grayson, who's hanging out at the bar, cleaning some glasses after a bit of a rush. You guys coming in a bit late at night. It was like about 10ish, I believe. And he's kind of holding it out. Everyone's favorite Dennis is not there. Unfortunately, he's not working today.
Wait, what? It's Thanksgiving or what?
No, it's there's more than one server. Like, this is a pretty decent establishment. This is essentially downtown, besides the port. The 2 most busy areas is the circle.
One thing I didn't get is like, how much money did this fucking thing cost me?
How much money did what? Everything? If you're actually paying for everyone and you guys want it.
Well, if I'm under Sean's control, I have nothing
you can do whatever the hell you want, man. You came in just in time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
no.
I didn't get it. Okay, I thought he mind controlled me.
No. He doesn't have that power.
Got it.
No.
Yeah.
It was just like we had to control your character, so
Yeah, no. Fair. That's fair. Okay, but fuck it. No, there's no.
Okay.
We're splitting the fucking thing together. Like, remember, some drinks, some around for you guys, like in a different session. So no. Remember, it's been 2 weeks and a half, so I still remember I paid those drinks. Okay, I haven't been drunk enough to forget.
All right. So, you guys, this is the night. I'm just gonna run it through real quick. And you guys arrived, and Grayson's cleaning cups, and he's essentially getting Jensen out. Jensen's not the guy that you guys hate. You hate Dennis. Actually, Varen kind of
like Dennis.
You kind of like Dennis.
Yeah.
Jensen is more. You haven't actually seen him before, I don't think. You usually see Gwyneth, the nervous one. That's at the front.
Is he the dude behind the bar?
No, that's Grayson. He's still there.
Oh.
He's cleaning glasses and everything else. No, there's 2 hosts and 2 servers. And the 2 servers you've had before, you've had Marion once, and she was like the sweet little girl, typical woman. Then you had the really nervous blonde girl, the young girl that's at the front, and she keeps like stuttering and shit. Who's Gwyneth. And then you have, Dennis, who's the super attentive, on shit, really good server, who's got his like blonde hair all styled up and everything else like that. Jensen is a younger, kind of a youngish lad. A lot of the server, like all the front of house staff, are pretty much young-ish. They're all around between like 20, 26, except for the one server, Marion, who's not here right now. She just left, and you can see her like walking out with all her stuff ready. And Grayson sees you guys and just calls you over for a seat at the bar if you want to sit at the bar and eat.
Are we? Hang on. Are we the night before or the morning after?
Night before.
Right now.
Yeah, so you just got
The
there.
night
It's around
before,
10
we
o'clock.
still have to
Okay.
get drunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's like, if you guys can sit here, we're closing up the tables. It's getting a bit late.
Oh. Fine.
Okay.
Rude.
Yeah, you're so rude. Okay.
Yeah, so today we have some pork that we just cooked ourselves. Got some spicy fried rice underneath, a bed of rice, some vegetables, carrots, everything else like that if you guys want that. And that's our special for today. I don't know if you fellas are interested.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that sounds great actually. With a pint of beer.
Awesome. All
And
right.
Zenkor goes, "It's on me." I'm kidding.
No. I'm gonna be marking his costs.
I love.
which shouldn't
I
be
like that. No, I like that. Because that-
Yeah, of course. I
there's a
like it because
reason-
it doesn't involve me. So yeah, it's gonna be in this case it's gonna be 2 gold for the room and the meal, unless you want drinks with it. If you want a drink, then it's an extra like probably 2 silver right now.
2 self. So it's like wait. You said
Unless you want a
the
specialty
food-
drink, but yeah, the food and the room together because they're usually comboed are 2 gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay these 2 golds and the 2 silver for the beer. Well,
Yeah.
actually, you know what? I'm gonna pay 4 silver for 2 beer.
Okay. Damn, you're going all out. It's actually 5 silver. It's a reverse deal. No, I'm kidding.
Bring me 3 then. No, I'm just kidding. No, 2 will be enough. I want to double.
All right, cool. And just to set the scene again, you guys are in this like cherry wood bar. There's tons of dragon head decorations. You see like small dragon heads, open mouth with the candle inside, and then you have the large, almost like too big to fit mantelpiece on the fireplace of a like probably about the size dragon that you guys ended up running into. And it's just like typical nicely made stone, well maintained. It just got cleaned too before he started sending people home, and
Because they just knew that we were coming.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they just cleaned it for us. Yeah, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. I have
they're
to
waiting for
appreciate
that late night rush.
the wonderful, very classy state of this establishment.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. They heard it as soon as you guys came in. Davos gave him a phone call, and he's like, "Yo, they here."
I mean, we have to celebrate, right? We're coming back from an adventure where everything went well. We had just
Mhm.
one
Yep.
casualty. It's like the
Yeah,
normal
just-
10%
yeah.
of casualties. That's okay.
Fuck it. Like, there's no consequences. You know, what's the worst? What's the worst thing? Like,
It's not like a real person died.
yeah. I mean, like a person might lose their farm, but
It
like,
was-
fuck it.
It was just a poor person.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, do they even have a soul? I mean, I'm not.
Probably
they,
not.
They probably sold it, to be honest, to make more like rent money.
Nice.
Yeah, so you guys wait a little bit. Pretty fast service. Grayson's
there's no one
managing everything. Yeah, there's no one else here, and Grayson's pretty much got everything set up and heated up and ready to go. You guys
Whoa.
just see him go in after a few more minutes and everything, getting everything ready. He ends up coming out. Dishes are pretty warm. It's definitely a bit spicy. A little on like the cayenne kind of side of things, but it's got like a very faint sugary taste as well that works really well with all the like carrots and everything. You guys are like, it's really nice to have this meal because this is probably the best meal you guys had other than the like deer that Varen cooked up.
Yeah, but the deer was not spicy. So.
No, and like
No, it's
even
probably
then,
pretty bland.
Varen's not the best, improviser in the middle of the forest and chef. So
Yeah, Varen's
You
no
guys are-
chef.
as soon as you start eating, you're like, wait, this is what this type of food tastes like. Like this is Mor-a. And yeah,
We're in a tavern, so it's not even like a 1-star Michelin restaurant. So.
no, and this is one of the
This
classic
is literal pub food.
Town. Yeah,
Yeah,
um,
I do love pub food. though.
yeah, it's the
I
best.
do. Too.
I do love pub food.
As you guys are eating and drinking your 2 drinks, Varen, are you grabbing anything to drink?
I'm gonna drink you.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So.
And I'm getting a room, which Varen doesn't normally do. But he's pampering himself.
Okay. All right.
Oh, you're gonna put some perfume. What's going on? Are you going?
Well,
to
no,
show-
he usually
Is
just
there-
kind of like sleeps in a tree or something. But like,
Is there? A
gonna
When
go
you
sit
say
down on.
he, it's you.
No, the last time you stayed at the Dragon Head Inn, you just like sat on Varen's floor or Zenkor's floor.
Yeah,
He was like super creeped out. All right, so yeah, you got a room. You both have a room. Everyone gets a room, and meal's nice. You get a drink. It's both like local brews that you guys are now familiar with, and it's got like a faint tinge of like a cherry aftertaste that they're working in, which is the special of the month. They got a few kegs of that, and everything's pretty good. You don't have anyone else in the bar, and Varen looks over, just like looking around, being like, everything's pretty bland on the eyes, and you're used to being in a place where there's movement all the time, so you're like, find your eyes wandering, and you see the dartboard on the wall, and there's like this shudder of just remembering, god damn it.
oh, didn't I lose that?
Yeah, you did.
Fucking Zenkor, son of a bitch.
It was actually Solaria.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So you just remember being a little embarrassed there. Dark game, and you just kind of look back down at your food. Pretty uneventful. You guys end up going up.
Was that a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we've been out for a while. Say was like not really a rest.
Yeah, it's not exactly vacation-y.
Yeah.
It smells like seawater.
So I think this place feels the most like home to us probably right now.
Yeah, like homey. Like not. It doesn't feel like the forest for you, but.
No. It's like, you know, the place that you're gonna come back to end of the
Oh,
day
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a nice
Yeah.
place. It's pampery
Yeah.
and it's got.
I just need a spa right now and jacuzzi and everything.
This is actually like
It's
a
gonna cost you.
cultural hub too. So this is a place where like you're just overwhelmed, especially Varen, with just like, oh wow, like there's literally almost everything here. Like there's multiple vendors of different kinds. There's markets. There's like fish markets. There's like farmer markets. There's like pretty much everything because people just import, dump their shit off, and then like people just bid on it, and then they just go, all right, everyone that's walking by, here's all this random shit that we got through the trader market. Like, so it's like very busy, very bustling, very like fad based and everything. So it's definitely an experience, and Grayson wishes you guys a good night when you guys end up leaving.
Thank you.
He reads, he tries to give you guys a little bit of space because you can see off of your, like, at least Varen's face that it must not have been a good day, and so he just
Baron,
kind
you
of keeps the
should like
distance.
you should show some joy a little bit.
Verna put on like a really forced smile.
I'm such a dick.
Just stare you down.
Yeah, Carrot, keep smiling. You did it. You cheered him up.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys end up
Turn that frown
resting.
upside down.
Um,
Let your smile be your umbrella.
it's an upside down umbrella. Anyway,
A smile is a terrible umbrella. Frown is a much better umbrella.
yeah, very uneventful night, and you wake up the next morning, and you smell similar spiced pork, but it's got a different smell to it when you guys end up going down the stairs.
But it's Baron's dragon being.
Speaking of, actually, I forgot that detail. Varen doesn't have his dragon anymore.
Oh,
He
wait. Is it? Do I know what happened to it?
Yes, maybe. Actually, no. You were sleeping at the time. Would you have told them yet?
I kind of thought people would have noticed.
No one's
Well, I
asked
just
about
noticed, so I'm going to ask you, where's your dragon, Baron? Like, I haven't seen it.
Oh, he took off a couple. He took off. He left. He took off. Yeah, he took off with some hussy. No,
What economy?
he left. The first night that after we left, I think.
Yeah.
You know, animal stuff.
You mean, like reproduction and
That time of year.
I can't
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
free, go back home, and there's like a 2-week ship journey away, and dinosaurs and a dragon, and you're like, he'll be fine.
We're gonna have more dragons when he comes back.
He's a pseudo dragon, so the biggest he gets is about the size of a cat.
Yeah, he was like full grown.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if it's like that time of the year, I expect.
Oh,
you don't know
like,
what the time
he's-
of the year is.
He's gone off to do his thing.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. It's like we're not old enough to know the details. Okay, it's
No,
adult
you
stuff.
don't know
I get
anything
it. I
about
get.
pseudo dragons.
It's out of game. When we leveled to 6, I switched
You know
from
what?
the
You know
normal.
You know what? I don't want to know. Because
All right,
I mean,
whatever,
technically, like if no, just as a role playing reason, I'm interested in terms of D&D, but I think as a role playing, like I'm just gonna not know in the game, and we'll see what happens.
You'll end up figuring everything out soon enough anyway, like Caradoc wise.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
If I really
So Varen's been without his second set of eyes for
Yeah.
a couple days now.
Which ended up actually immediately biting you in the ass in hindsight. I
Like,
didn't even think about
immediately.
that. Yeah. Like, that was not even intended.
Yeah.
Alright, well, you guys wake up in the morning, you come down, and for another meal, if you guys want breakfast, they're doing the pork leftovers, but they're cooking it with eggs and beans, like almost like a refried beans kind of esque thing.
Do you folks have pancakes and maple syrup? I just want to know.
Are you asking Grace on that?
What?
Are you asking me about Canada, or are you asking Grayson about the inn? Because that question was just out of nowhere.
You don't got any of them pancakes and maple syrup up there?
Maple syrup.
I'm just like, what?
Some of that Aunt Jemima's breakfast sauce?
I love the fact that you got so confused. No, in the game, but I'm not even sure if these things are actual like D&D things.
No. Grayson has no pancake mix. He ain't got no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking
if
mix
it's
to
not
make.
if it's not something in D&D,
It
I
might
kinda want to
be,
be the
just not
first
In
here.
the,
okay, if
I
it's
feel like
not-
they used to have not like pancakes like you would know.
It's more
But I think they used to have, like,
potato-based.
Yeah, more like
Yeah.
a hash brown
Yeah.
or like a shitty, like a cracker like thing almost.
Yeah, it would be like
Yeah,
potato
that
and
shit-
cheese-ish.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I want
which
to
still
be
sounds
the
pretty
first
good.
one. Just it's a goal for my character now.
Mhm.
I want to be the first one who invents the pancake in D&D. Just
You might be able
What are you gonna
to,
call
man.
it? It can't be the
Anyway.
pancake. You have to name it after yourself.
the carrot cake.
That's gonna get confusing.
Can I have the carrot cake? The carrot cake or the carrot cake? That's what I said. Yeah, no, they do not. At least at the Dragon's Head, they don't. They don't. I have no idea what
Okay.
you're talking about.
Yeah. I'll get whatever you're doing, baby. That sounds delicious.
They've never led us astray before.
All right, well, that's good to hear, and I'm really glad that you guys came back. I thought you guys had left, but yeah, it's just really nice to see some regulars or potential new coming regulars. Anyway, I'm gonna go get that from Hodge in a few minutes, and in the meantime, do you guys want anything to drink?
No.
All right. I can even get you. I can get you some water if you want.
Cider, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
What flavor would you like? Do you
What
just
kind
want
of flavor
normal?
do you have, my dear sir?
There's normal, there's blueberry, and there's snowberry.
Oh, snowberry sounds amazing. I've never tried
Right.
that in my life.
Okay.
Or maybe I have. I don't know.
You've had snowberries, but you haven't had it in like a cider form. It's like a sweet with a little bit of tang in it.
Nice, perfect.
It's like
That
a
sounds
wild berry.
amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it.
Yeah, cool. So he gets that for you. He gets Varina water regardless. Just gives you a smile and everything. He's like, it'll just be a couple of minutes. He's working it up now. He likes to do things fresh in the morning. Everything all right with you guys? Faces were a bit glum last night.
We lost one of our companions when we were traveling back from our little mission. So it's just a bit of a grim day.
No,
Probably gonna have a service for him today.
I understand. I used to do it myself actually, until it's hard. It's actually what got me into this. Got me this little place. I ended up thinking this is probably something that's best for me, best for our community as well.
And he was just one day from retirement.
That's the worst.
I don't
That's
actually
why-
say that. I'm kidding.
That's why I said I don't
kidding.
want that bounty board in my bar. To be honest with you, I don't want to encourage anyone here, especially when they're desperate for money, to be going out there.
Is it in the bar?
No, it's not. It used to be. Orange said that it used to be in the bar, but they're putting it in front of the town center this time.
Like the last time they did this?
Yes, yeah, it was something that like discontinued. You don't know why or anything else like that. But Orn announced, "Hey guys, now that we're independent, I'm bringing back the bounty board to bring in some money and try and take care of some of our problems." And then at the same time, sorry, but due to a request, I'm putting it in front of the town center. So and he's just like, I think when times are hard, it seems like an easy way of getting money, and people don't realize how dangerous this world can be. So, yeah,
It just makes the time harder.
exactly. We don't need to add more widows on top of things. Anyway, I'll grab the stuff. I think it should be ready. I'll be right back. Goes out, brings out the food. It's like, by the way, don't worry about this one, boys. It's on me.
Cool,
He
thanks,
goes,
man.
Oh,
Takes care of some other people. He sees you're pretty guys. You guys are pretty early up, and he ends up Sunday. Oh, Jensen, who's the guy that was like just finishing up. He's a bit shorter, young, 22-ish, black hair, short and groomed. He seems like a guy that hasn't seen very little like work in his life. And Grayson comes up to him and he starts like showing him around and telling him like different things to do, and he's like actually brings him to a table and they're like both kind of serving and everything, and Jensen's just kind of nervously like looking up every once in a while at Grayson, and he's just being pretty friendly and everything, and comes back and checks on you guys, and he's all right, so everything good?
I
Awesome.
don't know. Is it good?
yeah.
I mean, it tastes good. It's like similar
assume
pork
it's
to
good.
similar pork to yesterday, and then just eggs and beans. So it's just like a basic breakfast. Hodge,
Sounds pretty good.
Hodge is pretty solid as a cook so far. I mean, that you guys have experienced, so he does a pretty good job. He says, "If you guys need anything, just let me know." He just walks away.
Thank you.
what are you guys doing? Talking amongst yourselves, making any plans, doing any things, getting down tonight?
Actually, we don't know yet. I think.
Yeah, I think there's a few things, right? There's Devrim's funeral is happening at some point today. Actually, don't really know when. So we should probably check in at the church. I'm assuming like afternoon.
Yeah, he said sometime early afternoon.
Yeah. Old man wants to talk to me. Apparently first thing in the morning means high noon. So I guess I'll go over there around noon.
It's high noon.
Oh, it's always high noon somewhere in the world.
I don't actually know if anyone like told Devrim's mom that we were having a funeral.
Oh no, you didn't.
Specifically,
you told her that she's dead.
So I'm thinking maybe we take a little stroll out to the farm and like make sure that she knows that that's going down. We can also let her know that we arranged for her to get a bunch of fucking money, so that's cool.
Okay.
Maybe that's step one. That sounds a good step one.
Cool. All right, so you guys venture over. It's a decent walk. You guys end up having to pass the South Acres, which is the hill and fields and gardens in which you did your lantern ceremony and did all the festivals and everything. And it's on each hilltop you see like a cherry tree-esque kind of thing that's in bloom, and little gardens around it, and there's a couple of benches, and you see a few early like people kind of gathering together and talking, and a couple of them have like cards and stuff that they're playing, which is not like stereotypical playing cards that if while you're walking past they look almost like tarot card-esque, but they're like made specifically for a particular game. And you guys continue on. It's the South Acres are huge, and you see the hilltop at the very end of the South Acres that goes up to the church of the oh my god, I just brain farted. I said it like 2 seconds ago. The Divine Order. The Divine Order.
Divine Order.
And yeah, you can see the stained glass shining down at you guys at an awkward angle because the sun is obviously coming from the east and it is due south, and you guys end up taking the turn to go into the farms, and so it's about like a half an hour 40-minute walk. You guys end up getting to the edge of the farms, and hers is just off the road, and you go over around this small little path that leads in between a couple of different farms down like perpendicular to the road, and you see a wheat farm that you recognize being the one where she was waving from. And there's a small house made out of mostly like hay roof, and then just like haphazardly made with like old logs and boarded up like planks of wood and everything together. And then like in between there's like dirt and mud used to like harden in between as like kind of cement.
There's no one outside, I guess.
No, not yet.
Okay, can we go knock on the door?
Sure, yeah. After like a couple of like almost a minute, yeah, the door opens and you see the familiar figure of the woman just like rubbing her eyes. They're like beet red and huge bags under her eyes. She's got like this white like sleep coat or whatever you want to call those on, like just almost like a friggin' bed sheet, and just looks at you guys and kind of rubs her eyebrow for a moment.
God, I feel like Zenkor would talk because he loves handling these like awkward situations and like
Yeah.
tripping all over them.
It's up to you.
I don't know if I can channel Rob. Okay, this is Zenkor. Hey, ma'am. How you doing today?
I've had better days. Is there something wrong?
Yeah. We brought your son's body to the church on our way into town yesterday. Spoke with the priest man, and he said they're going to hold a service for him this afternoon. We wanted to make sure that you obviously knew about it and could attend. Seems important.
Behind you, you hear like a voice, kind of like behind you and like down a little bit, and you just hear, "Ahoy there! Yes, thank you. Sorry to be a bother. Hello." And you guys turn around. There's like this little halfling. He's like got this weird combination of just like modest clothes that he has like equivalent like ironed up and like folded up nicely and everything to present himself. He's got even like a little ribbon around the one part of his shirt and everything. He's trying very hard to make modest clothes look very fancy. And he has this letter which looks kind of cartoonishly oversized for him, standing only just over 3 feet tall. And he's like, "Oh, I see you have some company. Anyway, here's a letter. I was told to deliver it to, hello?" And she just kind of like squints her eyes to like kind of see in the light, and like looks over your shoulder, and she's like, "Hello? More people?" He's like, "Yes, I have a letter for you. You're in. Sorry, I'm new at this. It's my first day. Anyway, very exciting first letter. Here you go. I didn't open it, I swear." And he just like,
That's a weird thing to say.
he just like walks and like just walks through you guys and just like hands up the letter, and she grabs it and looks up at you guys and kind of, "What are you guys doing here?" Anyway, no charge, no worries about it. I was told that I'll get my payment from them, and I hope that my letter delivering was satisfactory. My name is Herrig, and I never gotten this far without people closing the door.
You can go. It's okay.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I just need to make sure everything's good. And so, miss, is there anything else you need from me? She just shakes her head no, and he's like, "Okay, this is really awkward."
You're making it awkward, little man.
Anyway, cheerio. I'll see y'all later. And he just turns around and walks away, and it, like, even like has this jaunty little walk. And just walks away and leaves, and she opens the letter by the time he turn around, and okay. Yeah, the ceremony is going to take a few days. Says some of the people he needs is a few days away. Yeah, okay. I'm sure that I'll make sure that you guys get an invitation. There won't be a big service. There's not many of us left. But if you want to come, feel free. And thank you.
Cool. Other thing we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
Devrim was, like the rest of us, was set to get some money when he came back to Mor-a. They paid us I think they paid us a little bit of money before we left. They gave us some of the money up front, but most of the money that we were getting paid for the journey was was going to be paid when we got back. So Devrim was going to receive 500 gold pieces. Now it only seems right that that goes to you instead. We were also betrayed by our asshole driver, and he also would have received 500 gold had he not run away and hidden with the bandits. We talked to the town leadership people, and we all agreed that it makes sense for that 1,000 gold to go to you.
Finally pay off everything. I just don't know where I'd go, what to do. It's kind of our... Devron's kind of always wanted to get out of this place. He's looking to join the militia here.
Well, maybe this gives you a chance to make things a little better for you and those you care about.
I mean, yes. Thank you very much.
So I don't know if they're going to bring that down. That might be a little heavy. They might just send a messenger or something. I'm not sure. I can double check. I have to go meet with one of them later today.
Okay, well, I'll be here for the next few days, and I'm sure that they will have it figured out there. Ever since the independence, things have been going pretty smoothly, considering.
Mm-hmm.
It's one big reason why everyone was so excited for joining and being a part of it. But maybe I'll open up a shop.
Yeah. That sounds nice. That sounds real nice. Anyway, we're not going to keep you. I know you've had a rough time, so we'll see you around.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye. She hastily kind of closes the door. And you guys are sitting in the entrance of a wheat farm.
That was the weirdest mailman I've ever encountered.
You can actually kind of hear him singing to himself down the street.
He reminds me of Caradoc. Let's go back to town.
I'm sorry, he cannot be as weird as me. He doesn't have a wheelbarrow.
It's true. He has a French horn-esque kind of instrument, one of those Boromir horns that's just curved around, and that's pretty much it.
He's weird. You're wheeled.
Yes.
Got it?
Yeah, I got it. It
was
pretty bad. All right. Yeah, you guys are back in town. Takes about another 45-ish minutes. You feel like it would be faster if you just cut through a couple of farms, but it's kind of awkward. So you end up just going back around through the paths and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're back in town, just at the entrance, between the South Acres, the Market Square area. So you're in the ring where the town center and the market and the Devil's, the Dragon's Head are.
Mm-hmm.
What?
You're in the circle, the street circle. And then in the middle you have the U shape, which is the town's center with the bounty board. The market where everyone's just finished setting up all their stalls and everything else like that. And then you have across diagonally on the other side of the street, you have the Dragon's Head pub, which you guys stay at frequently.
Yeah,
you can see people are starting to. It's a pretty busy street during the day, early day. You see a lot of people are kind of gathering.
I'm gonna go I want to go talk to the Seer Davos guy on my own because he was like, hey, psst, whisper, whisper.
Okay.
So I'll be like, hey, why don't you guys go check out the market? I know Zenkor was looking to give that magical item salesman a piece of his mind.
Sure, yeah, that works.
I'm gonna go double check and try to make sure. I want to make sure everything's in order for that lady getting her money.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think since because of the amount of money, it's a huge amount of money. We should make
That's a
sure
lot,
that it's
yeah.
delivered correctly and that it's protected. I'm not sure. Is there a bank here? Probably not.
Not that
Maybe.
you know of. You could try and look for one though.
Yeah, that's you know what? Instead of going to the market, I think it would be useful to also find a bank.
Cool. Roll investigation. You're gonna spend the next little while roaming town, looking for one. Possibly even talking to some people.
Okay, investigation. Let's see. Am I good investigating?
Are you good at it?
Hmm.
Oh, 12.
It's not
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, it takes a little bit. You not the most social person, so you end up just finding it yourself. And
Hey, don't look at my charisma. Okay?
it is actually in the center square, or sorry, the center circle, and it's on the opposite side of where the dragon's head is.
Does my character know how a bank works in general? Is there like a general
course.
assumption in the world
Yeah,
that
no,
a bank always works?
Dwarves are kind of the practitioners of banking systems.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
assumed. But
Your city, because you're kind of a city boy as far as dwarves go, and you kind of like learnt your masonry kind of aspect and your gems and everything, all of that background. You actually learned that from an elder, and then the dwarven city was based around obviously mining. Big surprise for this dwarven city. And gem crafting and that sort of resource.
Okay.
So yeah,
how
you're
do they
completely aware.
recognize people who can get the money? That's more out of character right now. It's how do they recognize people that try to get their money out
That's
of it?
something that's really important that you need to figure out.
Okay, so it's a per bank thing. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You're trying to rob a
you're
bank
not.
or something?
It's each bank is an actual like independent organization.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I assume. Yeah.
Depending on, because you guys are you're more familiar with it. I'm not even gonna get you to roll. You know, at least for dwarves, it is either run by the actual government, or it's run by like just an independent, credible, and notable person. It's usually one
makes
of the
sense.
two. Yeah.
Do we know anything? Do I know anything about this bank? If not, I
No.
kind of want to go in and like at least figure out. If I can't figure it out by not talking to people, I will talk to people.
Okay. Sure.
In order to know who the fuck holds this bank and is this a reputable bank?
All right. So you're just like roaming around talking to people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you find a few people on the side of the street. And you just start asking them. A few of them actually aren't locals. This being a trade city, and people just visit and drop by a lot. But you eventually find a couple of locals, and they end up, they aren't the most, wealthy people. They trust their own area more, like their houses and their homes, but they do know that a lot of the notable people here that are wealthy do keep their money at this bank. So even though like most of the locals don't keep their money at the bank, they do know that like the people that are investing in the bank are notable people in the area.
Okay, let's raid the bank.
All right.
Okay. I guess my investigation is done. And I don't know how much time it took, but I kind of want to get back to Varin to let him know that that could be an option to put the money in the bank for that.
Okay.
Eventually, I don't know if it happens. If we still have some time, we should probably go to the market for Zenkor to talk whatever he has to do with his. I'm not entirely sure what he had to do, but
He wanted to go see the asshole merchant that was in the market that had the magic items.
oh, he just wanted to know which magic items
He just wanted to go there because he has money now, and that guy was a
Yeah.
dick. Essentially,
I'm
from what I
pretty
gathered.
sure- I'm pretty sure specifically he was interested in the jug. I'm gonna call it a jug of holding. I don't remember what it actually was, but
Yeah.
like
I
that
mean,
thing.
Which man would not be interested in jugs anyway?
Yeah, I love jugs of holding jugs.
Yeah, you almost got it right.
Let me just.
I was gonna say if Missy's gonna be joining, I gotta get this like man shit out of the way, but she would actually probably love
No,
that.
she'll do it more than you. Just,
Yeah.
I'm telling you that right now. Yeah, she's gonna. I'm curious about how her character is, because like Rekka is very similar to her in that sense. So it'll be interesting.
So, oh, you mean is her name Little Fawn, like her
Yeah.
the nickname?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So she'll be bringing a character in the near future.
Nice. I hope you have a wonderful way to bring her in. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be hopefully running a session with her beforehand. Otherwise, how she's being brought in will sound like, okay, here she is, but that's literally how her character's introduced anyway.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's an
yeah,
outsider.
sure.
Anyway, yeah, I'm looking for the item specifically right now. But yeah, in the meantime...
So we're going to... So we do have time to go to the market. Okay, cool.
If you want, yeah, like,
if we do
you
have time,
are about an
if
hour
it's
and a
not too
half,
late
2
in the
hours
morning.
in. No?
Oh,
it's-
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you still have a bit of time. Do. Man, how rare is this item? Or is it just not in this specific thing? I'm just gonna find it. It's called... I remember the name of it. I can search it immediately. It's like called this. Correct? Am I right? Yep. And I love the first search result. Okay. Yeah, so you end up showing up and you can see the figure, the gnome, is packing up. Actually, sorry, I apologize. Halfling, tan skin, is slicked back hair. And he looks up at you guys. He's got like flashy clothes too. It's a nice purple overcoat. And he looks up at you guys as he's like packing. He's actually like packing his stuff. Like, it's like an awkward mix of him like boxing things, like sealing boxes, while he has a few things out for sale. And he just looks up and he sees Zenkor, and he just immediately, his face kind of just goes like rigid. He's like, "Oh, hello. I did not expect you guys so soon."
Why so soon? Were you waiting for something?
I mean, any time would have been too soon, to be honest. But anyway, what can I do for you?
Oh, yeah, forgot he was an
Yeah, he's a huge asshole.
asshole. Completely forgot.
Did you remember to bring some money this time, right?
Oh yeah, we do have a little bit of money, probably enough to cover your expenses for a few.
Okay. Yes.
But my friend here, Zenkor, is the one who's interested in your items, because technically I really don't give a shit. So please let him.
Okay.
So I guess I'm gonna have to play Zen. So I'm going to play as Zenkor.
Have fun.
Hello, sir. I would like to see what you have, and this time I did come prepared.
Okay. Well, remember, it's a no-touch system here. The guards are nearby, as you remember last time. So I'd very much prefer it if we just kept things civil and lighthearted. Anyway, what are you looking for specifically? I've got a few new things. I've also been storing a few things away, so hopefully by my luck, I'm sure that it's going to be one of the stored things. But we got a few things here. Anything that caught your fancy last time before you had money?
So out of character, I do not know what Zenkar is looking for.
If he actually is looking for the alchemy jug, it is there. It's like sitting in the front.
And to your
It's like-
memory, he was looking for.
I'm
That's-
almost positive
yeah.
that we spoke about it like a couple days ago.
Okay.
So
Okay, so
it's a
Sorry,
cera-
a couple
it's a-
sessions ago,
yeah.
not a couple days ago.
It's a ceramic jug, right? And probably able to hold like about a gallon of liquid. It's like clay color, and then it's like
Okay.
adorned a little bit with some
So
markings.
it must have something specific. Okay, so I'm talking as an encore. Oh, it seems that you have the jug that I'm looking for right here, and he points to it. Can you give me more details about it?
Right now I'm going at 350 gold. It's pretty cool. What name a liquid? Anything that you would want right now.
Let's be very simple. An anti-poison potion.
Okay, let's be a little less magical liquid. Let's be something. You can be creative, but we're talking liquids here, not potions.
Let me think about it. I'm thinking out of character. What kind of liquids could exist in this case?
A wine.
But that's not a magical liquid.
He
What
said
are you talking-
non-magical.
Yeah.
Oh, non-magical.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Because you said
Wine.
anti-poison potion. Okay, yeah, wine.
It's like a potion is like a
Sorry,
magic
I heard
bullshit.
magical, so I was like, what? Okay, never mind. Wine. Oh, wine, for example.
Okay, no problem. Steam whistle. He says, like inside the thing, and you immediately see his arms like straining a little bit, and he tips it just enough to show you that it is filled with wine.
Um,
He goes into his stuff and he grabs like a small, almost like a ladle, and like ladles it out. Care to try?
oh, and Caradoc is like, oh, absolutely, sir. It seems that it's something I would want.
Okay, you try it. It's red wine. It's a bit dark.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Zenkor is going to think about, does he has an idea of what the price of this jug is normally in the
I can't remember if we discussed prices previously.
You did discuss the price previously, but you could ask.
well, I wonder if he
Like-
already knows, because I'd like to avoid
Sean,
the
do you
discussion
have his character sheets and you can roll?
I have the
This would
sheet, yeah.
be, it'd be an arcane check, I think, because appraisal is gone after 3rd edition. So it's, I'll say Arcana.
I'm gonna take a sheet.
17.
17.
Wow.
Alright.
17
An
gold
item like
pieces.
this isn't like every day. It's relatively uncommon, and the price fluctuates, especially from place to place. So it's a bit complicated, especially in Mor-a. But with inflation, he's kind of surprised it doesn't cost more.
Okay.
Yeah. It seems reasonably priced. If he would get a lot of use out of it, or if that's something that he really wants. It is a bit of a niche item, and it is a bit steep for how much you guys have. So this is kind of his thought process here. But
It's a bit steep. I mean, he has more than 500 gold, so I would assume that that's okay.
mhm.
So Zenkor is like, so here's the price, and it's like, oh, well, that's actually a very a good price that I'm interested in, my dear sir. See, I think we can actually come to terms by doing some business together.
As soon as he sees the gold, he's totally different. He's got a big smile on his face. He's like, see, I did like you the most out of all of them. Well, I'm finally glad that we have someone in this town that can actually afford magical items. I have really shitty timing. 350 gold then.
Yep. So I modified his character sheet. Let's see, where is his
keep
inventory?
it the same price for now. Just you don't have to modify his gold.
Okay,
Does
so
he
I did
have
not modify his gold.
an inventory? Where is it? Is it somewhere else?
I'm not sure.
I don't know where he keeps
And
track of
then,
his shit.
Don't add the.
He has a book collection.
Yeah, he does.
Very carefully detailed book collection.
It is known as
Yeah, I
an
know.
alchemy jug. I am going to tell you guys about it though. It is an alchemy jug, and it weighs about 12 pounds. Doesn't matter if it's empty or full. And whenever like it is now empty, he emptied it out. But whenever like it moves, you can hear like a light sloshing sound, like just like there's something in there. But when you look, there's nothing inside.
Interesting.
You can use an action and name one liquid, and depending on what it is, you can cause the jug to produce that liquid. And
That's
it
so
has a
cool.
little,
Like
it has a
introduce
little
me.
lid. It's like a ceramic, almost tea pot lid, but at the bottom is a cork, so it can actually like it can cork into the thing to keep it shut. And yeah, you can pour up to 2 gallons per minute of that. And then the maximum amount of liquid is dependent on the rarity or the like kind of it's not like a conjuration, so it's also dependent on what type of liquid you can make, so how much you can make of it.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
The gallon's quite a bit.
Yeah. And so,
Okay,
some of them, like this is 2 gallons per minute, right? It can hold a full gallon, and it can produce a maximum amount. So, for example, fresh water and salt water, there actually are different amounts for the max amount because of density and conjuration, spell, chemistry.
Oh,
shit.
density of yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
of these liquids should be pretty similar. The rarity might not, obviously.
Yeah, and once it starts producing one of the specific liquids, it can't just produce a different one until the next day.
Ah, okay. So that's
Yeah.
interesting. So now we're stuck, which
With wine.
for Caridoc's opinion is really good.
Yeah.
We're stuck with this jug generating only wine.
Yeah.
4 gallons
Which-
of red wine per minute.
Which, unfortunately, can only produce 1 gallon, which just got emptied out. So you're gonna have to wait
Oh,
until
okay.
tomorrow to use it. Yeah.
Shit,
That's
who
fine.
emptied it out? Jeez.
It's a market, man. He wants to make sure you.
Caradoc's gonna like sit up waiting for midnight, just staring at the jug,
can't-
being like, "You and me, buddy, you and me."
Then I imagine in the inn, I wake up at midnight and then go in silently in Zenkor's room to just get the jug. And then Zenkor,
You're like
every day is
a
"I
kid
don't
on
understand.
Christmas.
I don't understand with his jug. It never works.
This is like
Every
a
day.
basic. Yeah, that's actually the magic phrase, by the way. A play off of a local beer maker in my.
I was gonna say I like steam whistle.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zenkor is going to delicately and very nicely put the 12 pounds fucking jug in his bag. And,
He can't fit it in his bag of. Oh, yeah, I
That's
guess he
so
could
great.
fit it in his
Oh.
bag of holding.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna ask the guy. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm looking for something that you may not have because I heard it was sometimes difficult to get. Is a bottomless bag.
Oh, like
Maybe you
a bag
have
of
this.
holding, like Zenkor's.
What?
Like
Zenkor has a bag of holding.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Who
yeah,
has a
bag of
bag of-
holding.
Oh, it's a bag of holding, and
Yeah,
who has
it's
a
not
bag of holding?
bottomless. Zenkor has one, and it's not bottomless. It has like a weight limit.
Okay, so
But
but
it's
Zenkor
dramatic.
cannot put the jug in the bag because it's too big.
It is, yeah. I would allow it though. Like people put armor and weapons in it, so fuck it. Yeah, You can
Well,
put it in the bag. Of holding.
it's supposed to hold such a freaking huge amount of things. Actually.
No, it's more like just being able to like fit the item through the mouth of the bag.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
is the
that's
hard
the
part.
problem. But I heard
Yeah.
that you can put the shit ton in it.
You can put a lot of shit in
Yeah,
it.
no, it's 2 feet in diameter. You're good. You're good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you could totally fit a person
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Hey,
2
hey,
feet! That's gigantic!
I remember carrying a dwarf in that bag in one of my adventures in D&D. I'm not kidding. It's like the guy was like not moving, and we had to run, and so we put the we put the dwarf in the bag, and then we run. It was
Yeah.
Did you keep his head sticking out?
Well, it would still work. I think. I think it like has any kind of
Maybe it.
depth. It doesn't have a depth. Like basically, that's what I remember from the bag. It's
Well,
like you put something in it, and then you can grab it, but it has any amount of space you want in it.
Yeah. I guess it depends like what version you're looking at or whatever, but I've heard that basically like you can put something that's alive in there and they can sort of hold their breath for a couple minutes, but then after that they'll like suffocate.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. So maybe.
Oh,
Anyway,
it
we're not
depends
planning
Whatever.
to put the
because
dwarf in the bag.
yeah.
Are you?
No,
Do you
it's-
want to
it's-
go in the bag? You have
No.
control over Zencor. You can get in his bag
Why would I
anytime,
do that? I would put him
whenever
in the
you
bag and
want.
then
You could
steal
just
his-
be like, Zencor, I want to ride around in your bag like a little baby kangaroo.
Whoa, there's a crazy interaction with the bag of holding.
And the jug,
No.
Okay.
or just
so
in
I'm not-
general.
Just
So never mind my question. I didn't even ask it because I didn't realize Zencor had a.
I mean, you can
like,
try to get your own
where-
if you want.
Where
There's nothing
he
wrong
can
with
put
getting
his
your own.
jug, by the
Mhm.
way. So he puts his jug
Yeah.
in the bag of holding.
cool.
And then I'm gonna ask if he has some plain. Actually, let me do it. Sir, I was looking for something very simple, non-magical. Actually, if you had maybe some eagle feathers, it might not be the right place, but I was just taking the occasion to ask.
He very smoothly and very quickly goes from like wide eyes, smiling, like open mouth smile, to just like a couple of blinks in a row and just staring at you like straight face. He's like, I sell magical items.
Sorry, what did he say?
I sell magical items.
Okay, sorry. Never mind then. I appreciate your.
I'd like to remind you that there's a shop in the market that's like
Oh, I know.
they
I'll
sell like
find that.
incense and shit. I bet you they would have eagle feathers.
Oh, I'm
You
absolutely
know,
sure.
one of those like
I'm
new
absolutely
age
sure.
stores. They sell like dream catchers and crystals and
Spirit
shit.
rocks.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm absolutely sure I will find it, but I was taking the occasion so I didn't have to go somewhere else. And also, I'm assuming that someone who sells like magical items has a lot of other shit, but he doesn't seem to. I understand.
No,
So,
he's very
I've been
pretentious.
very polite, and we're just going to go our way. And I'm going to go in the
Okay.
market to find my eagle feather.
Cool. All right. Yeah, make another investigation roll, friend.
Okay, let's do it, baby. Investigation. Man. Wait, what's going on?
It's funny. I actually posted that image of like Zencor got an empty bottle before you said that the guy like dumped out the wine, and so now he actually has an empty bottle.
Okay, investigate. I'm gonna find. Tell me. Oh,
Damn.
thank God.
So you
I'm
end up
gonna
going to
find the
that
most
that new age market, and you see at the little display case, you also see like a bunch of different items and stuff like that. And yeah, you see like there is an arrangement of eagle feathers that you could probably like salvage from a. It's not like a spirit catcher, but it's almost like a similar thing where it's like a woven. Bamboo-esque kind of branch that's in a U shape, and then the eagle feathers are hanging off of string underneath it.
Perfect.
Yeah, so you could
Perfect.
probably just buy that and then take the eagle feathers off it.
Yeah, I just wanted to buy a couple feathers. I actually need only one. What is the price of these feather, my dear sir or madam, depending on who
It is actually a tiefling woman.
A
Who
what?
a tiefling. woman.
Oh, Tifa.
Yeah, and she comes out, eyes glowing, and gives you a nice but nervous smile. She's like, "Oh, hello. Yes. That would be probably 10 copper is fine for me today."
Oh, that sounds perfect. I will take these two ones, and I look at
Okay,
the most
perfect.
beautiful that I can see. Remember,
Mhm.
I can see any detail super precisely. So
Okay, some of them are like a bit older, but yeah, you got two in the newer ones. By the way, just a reminder: this place reeks up close because she's got pretty much like 6 different things going and burning, and they all smell very potent, and they don't mix well together.
that's fine. I'm a dwarf. I'm used to that.
This is this is herbal, like too much herbal perfumey smell though. This is not something a dwarf is used to.
Okay, so I lied. I cannot see extremely well yet, but as soon as I get the feathers, I can.
Okay, cool. Well,
By
you
the
still get the newer ones. You like some of them are frayed on the edges, and yeah. So there you
Yes.
go. 20 copper pieces. You get those 2 little adornments.
Yep. So it's how many copper piece? It's 20.
20 in total. If you're getting 2 of them.
Perfect, and it's 100 copper for 1 silver, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Mm,
Let me see. I think the only time it changes is for
it's
platinum.
oh god, I have a chart, but it's very confusing.
I'm pretty sure this is how it works. It's like 100 every time. So copper.
Oh,
is,
100
so
copper
it's-
pieces is 1 gold piece. So
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, 1 copper, 10 silver.
Oh, so it's
Sorry,
2 silver.
10
basically. Okay.
copper, 1
Yeah.
silver.
Yeah, it's 2 silver.
10 silver, 1 gold. 10 gold, 1 platinum.
Okay, perfect. I gave 2 silver then.
Cool. A lot easier.
And I think you were confused because you would have said 2 silver.
Yeah. Sorry. I measure
that's all
things like actively also off of like what type of item they are. So for example, like trinkets that are really cheap will still be in copper regardless.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, yeah. And what do I want to do? I want to do something else, but I don't remember. Yeah. Never mind.
Okay. Baron, you're on your way to the old man's house, Davos.
To his
know-
house?
Yeah. Do you know where it is?
I thought I was going to like City Hall.
Oh man. Okay. If you're going to, you go to City Hall then.
Did he tell me to meet him at his house? He just
Yeah.
said like,
he told you to meet him. That's all he said though.
all right, fine, I'll go to his house. Do I know where he lives? We did trail him quite a bit
You know
that one time.
general area of where he lived. You ended up giving up.
I'm just gonna go to like town hall,
Okay.
and I'm gonna ask, like, I'm gonna find someone and ask if they know where he is.
Yeah. You find one of the 2 guards, the nicer one out of the 2, because the other one was kind of had a run in with Zenkor a little bit. He's like, oh yes, he's probably held up in his store, or whatever you want to call it. It's funky stuff, man. I don't trust it, but it helps. Anyway,
Do you know where that is? Can you point me in that direction?
yeah. You go down the main street, 3rd alleyway on the left, and
Right
it's
on
gonna
the-
be it's gonna
Take
be
a
one
left.
of the
Yep.
houses that have a back opening. You'll notice if you walk and keep your eye out. Honestly, it's really adorned. The other buildings, they don't really care that much. They might have a like nice little sign and everything. Just remember, like, it's not just the main strip here. Like, those alleyways lead to some back entrance stores and stuff like that. He's just one of them.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm gonna trot on down that street.
Cool.
And find this dude's weird ass store.
eventually, and because you're looking for it, I don't even need you to look. You find a almost like a psychic medium decked out place without neon signs. Like it's kind of painted purple. The doorway like a little bit of like a red, and you can see like faint glowing light coming from like window parts of the doorway.
So this is like a shop.
As far as you're aware that you've been told,
Seems like a shop. Like it wouldn't be totally crazy for me to just open the door and walk in.
Oh no, like
It's not like a house. It's like a.
Yeah, you don't
Alright,
really
yeah.
know. Like,
All right, yeah, I'll
there's a
go in.
sign.
Whenever.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's good
Okay,
enough.
cool. Yeah, so the door's unlocked, and you open it up, and you see inside, and it's kind of like you walk immediately into a room that has a little mini desk that's probably held for like doing payments and shit. And then you have a small circular table with 4 seats and a old man who's sitting there patiently. The rest of the room is covered in black drapes that just come to like almost like close out the room and make it smaller and more focused.
Is the old man Davos?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He's sitting there and gives you a smile when you walk in. How's it going, my lad?
Not bad. Keeping busy, you know. Got some stuff to do.
Yes. I apologize, by the way, for everything. It was difficult to see certain parts of Eldham. Something was stopping me from being able to see, so we didn't have all the intel that we could. Certain areas, it's difficult. I don't want to explain it too much, but there's sometimes things out there that can block one's sight. But that's not what
Yeah.
we came here for. Take a seat.
I sit.
Okay.
I sit. No, I sit normally. Never mind.
Okay. There's like 3 seats, so you can take whatever one you want.
I sit right across from him.
Cool.
I was considering doing that lame ass like substitute teacher from the '90s sitting backwards on a chair thing.
It's like a stool, so it wouldn't really work.
Is there like a circular table? Does it have like a crystal ball on it?
It does not have a crystal ball.
Son of a bitch.
It has like a stone eye similar to the one that you saw in the witch's den, but it's propped on top of a little like platform, like a stone base for it. It has a slight indents and it can sit comfortably. Anyway, I called you here because of some visions that I've been having. A friend of mine is having some trouble not too far away from here, near a lodging camp that was taken over by the bandits in one of their initial little runs before they became a little bit more occult and harder to deal with. We haven't touched it in years, but recently I've been getting visions of my friend there, and I just want to make sure that he's safe. I was wondering if you and your friends could go over there, just a simple check, make sure everything's okay.
You want us to investigate a cult?
No. It's a lodging camp. You actually kind of saw it 2 weeks ago when you were gathering berries and you stayed your first night in Mor-a. So if you picture Mor-a from the perspective from where you guys came in, like through the sea, the left side is all the Eldham Wood and the bandits hideout and all the like say and all that stuff. To the right you have the forest that you ended up staying at, and you did some snowberries, and you and Drim ended up eating there and resting there. And off in the distance, because the coastline is a little bit more cleared and there's less like dense trees, you did see something that kind of resembled some sort of like lodging or mining outpost. So you figure that that's probably what he's talking about.
Okay.
It's most likely not the. How do I explain this? The bandits that you encountered, they haven't always been associated with the folk that they are now. In earlier times, they were easier to deal with. Early in their times, when they were a little bit more rambunctious, they ended up taking over the lodging camp, making it one of their home bases. And that's where we kind of got to a point where it wasn't worth clearing out. We just kept people away from there. The Divine Order felt that it wasn't really their interest. Once we finally gained independence, they had difficult friends to deal with, and where you could see the rest of the problems yourself. They have moved on from the lodging camp. I don't know if they're still there, but at the worst, it would just be a secondary little camp for them. But I have seen my friend there, and it seems like he's been distressed. I can't see too much clearly, but if you are very concerned, I could try and spend some of my resources to look into it for you. These are just based off of dreams. These are vague and hard to read sometimes. I could actually use more intimate magic if we really need to.
Hang on. What's the TLDR of what he's asking me to do right now? Does he just want us to go check out the camp and try to save his friend?
Yeah, he just wants you to go to the camp, see if his buddy's there. He's like having some weird dreams.
Can you what does this guy look like? Why would he be why is he in this area? Why is he at the legend camp?
He lives in the area, or I mean, I assume he does. We've lost contact ages ago. I won't lie, we haven't been the closest. We haven't talked in a while, but these dreams have been disturbing me, and he used to live in Eldham, and I guess he moved over here when things got a little bit more dangerous. He's not one for the city life. He's a bit more the natural individual.
I mean, we've got we're sort of stuck in town for the next couple days. I think while we wait for, well, that depends. Devrim's funeral's coming up, and I don't really want to be caught out in the wilderness while that's going on, but I can talk it over with the other guys, and I imagine in a few days from now we'll have our fill of loafing around town and be looking for a little bit of adventure.
Roll an insight check.
Inside.
What we got? 16?
16.
He seems like anxious when you say like such a long time. He's like, I understand, but I may need to ask someone else or figure something out. I wanted to do it a bit discreet, just between friends, and I didn't want to bring the militia into things, but I need this done soon. I don't want whatever I'm seeing to happen. Just give me a moment.
Are you worried that he's in danger?
Yes.
Like imminent danger?
I keep having these dreams. I don't know if the danger has already happened and he's in peril, or if the danger is soon to happen. Just give me one moment, then I will try and give you something a little bit more concrete. And you see the eye previously facing you animate and start turning and go rotating until it's facing straight up into the air. He puts his hands over it.
Just a quick note. I remember what I wanted to say earlier. I did not update anything on Zenko's sheet as you requested. So just so you know, he doesn't have the jug and he hasn't had he's gold removed. You know.
That's fine. Yeah, that's the way I want it. Just in case he goes, oh, I didn't want that, and then it's just super easy. It's like, okay, cool. We'll take that out of the story. Yeah,
that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. I marked everything else down. Just double check.
Including the 50 gold he gave each of us?
You mean the 250 gold?
No. He gave you the 50 gold, and then he gave me 50 gold, but he already gave me 200 when we woke up.
Wait.
He's fucking with you.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, so he ends up reaching into his robes and pulling out a necklace that has, it's almost like a tuft of fur that's kind of inside, like hanging out of it and well groomed, and he puts the necklace around the eye and he puts his arms around, and you can see the colors, almost like the spatial gas when looking into the sky at night. Almost like
that's called the fart. You don't have to call it spatial gas.
No, like when you look at pictures of space and you can see all the colors and stuff. It's kind of
I know.
flowing on his robes. You can see it like faintly emitting from his robe as his hands are over the eye, and the eye begins to glow, and his eyes glaze over, and stops for a moment. It's taking some time. You're just sitting there awkwardly. Nothing else seems to really be happening.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to do or whatever in the meantime?
I don't know. I'll hang out. I don't know, look around a little, I guess.
Alright, like in your chair?
Just passively, I'll walk around.
Okay, cool.
Just trying to pass the time.
Like, gazing under, like, if you gaze around the drapes, you can see, like, there's the remainder of his home. He, like, is actually home operated, and this is just, like, an entranceway that he kind of turned into a little, like, divining location where people can come in, get their little fortunes told, and all that sort of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's at it for, like, a good, probably, like, 5-10 minutes. And so you're just sitting there awkwardly looking around. Do you like actually like leave the draped area, or are you just like chilling inside there?
No, I'm just kind of like pacing and trying to keep myself busy.
Okay. It's really dark in there. Besides the light that comes in from the doorway, and as time goes on, you notice that the light from the doorway almost seems like it's getting dimmed. Like someone just took a dimmer on natural light and kind of turned it down. And you look back and you can see the eye that's in the middle of the room is like kind of flickering from side to side as if someone is like looking through it. And it's like natural eye movement. And he eventually has the eye go back to a neutral position, which happens to just like look across the table and slowly fades to a dull stone rather than a glow. And he takes a breath, kind of sighs, and leans back a little bit, and you see he's a bit winded, and he looks up at you standing by the doorway, and looks a bit upset. Hello, I'm sorry about that. My friend is alive, but I don't know how long. He's by the lodging mine, what's left of it, and he's currently being held as a prisoner or a snack or something, I'm not sure. But I did see him caged up in there. I didn't get to see too much more. Whatever was holding him there wasn't there at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it can't be too many people if it is people. But it is something sentient.
Do we know? Do we know if whoever is holding him there might be associated with the bandits on the road between here and Say?
The Devil's Hand. I don't know. By the looks of things, no. Didn't have any of the same emblems or anything else like that. There was in fact none. Just seemed like a large camp.
Okay. We've got a few days. I'll go chat with the other dudes, and maybe we'll see if we can head out and try to get your friend out of that sticky situation.
Thank you. Before you go, kind of holds your arm for a moment. I know I speak riddles sometimes, but doing this is not just helpful for my friend or me. It does help you.
With money?
Something better.
Vern's got a big grin on his face. Like, huge grin on his face.
Something much better. Trust me. Sometimes I can't say certain things, but it is something that you'll enjoy.
I'm just like, after our conversation earlier about jugs. Okay. Okay. I'll convince Zenkor and Karadak. Probably won't take much convincing.
Hey, we're
Do
not here.
I
so
need
you
to-
can't convince-
Do I need
to
to
what?
tell you if we're going or not, or will you just be able to see if we're going or not?
He just kind of gives you a smile and a wink.
That's not a yes or a no.
It
It's
isn't.
kind of neither.
Yeah, no. You don't need to tell me anything. You can just do what
Okay.
you need to. I just would
All right.
appreciate it if you did.
I'll see what I can do, and I'll shake his hand,
Okay.
and do the sort of like the shake the hand and like pat the arm with the other hand shake. You know, like a nice.
Alright, alright.
Yeah, it's like we're
Like a
you know
bro shake?
well no sort of like maybe a little, yeah.
Alright,
And I'll leave and I'll head back to the market.
cool. Alright, so you leave, you go back to the market. Missy, are you gonna be playing today? Or are you waiting till next
Do
week?
you want me to play today? Like, I've
can.
never opened her up. Like, I still haven't
I
sorted
mean,
out the
whoa,
spells.
you don't have to go that quick.
Yeah, keep them closed, at least till you get to know us. Please.
At least tell us your name.
It's true, it's true.
Yeah, because they're all separated right now,
Okay.
so I can run you through real quick too.
Okay, well, I'm already here, so I suppose I might as well.
Okay. So you find yourself motivated by your, like, seeking of the outside world.
Yeah, my wanderlust.
Yeah. And you immediately go to the closest place that you know has people. A place that you and your people don't really go very often, so it's almost...
Wanderlust, not wonder.
um,
Criticizing my speaking.
and so yeah, this is like kind of a place that's almost taboo. You guys don't really go to like human civilizations, and your people kind of prefer a more like hermit, like natural kind of way of living. So you say fuck it to all of that, and you're like, well, I'm just gonna go because it looks so exciting whenever I look at it. There's always these huge boats that come in, and loud voices, and drunk people throwing up in the water, and it's just great, like crazy shit.
They got dingle hoppers, yo.
And so you end up going into the docks and wandering across the whole town. It's Mor-a's built on a hill, a giant hill, and so you just keep walking up this hill, and you notice like some of it's being built currently. The road is being built like and not pavemented, but they're using like almost like bricklaying to create a road that carts can drive up and down. And you can see a lot of people are trying to sell their goods through the port, and you see some of the goods that are sold as you walk up the hill in the main street are like being carried by individuals up and down the hill and getting to all these different stores. And you don't really understand, like you understand common, so you know like, okay, oh, this is blacksmith, this is this thing, this is that thing, but you don't really understand the terms all that much. And you, after a few kerfuffles of wandering into places and doing things and not realizing that you needed to have paid and things like that and getting kicked out, you eventually find yourself in a circular street that curves all the way around in a roundabout, and in the center is this large independent market with all these different stalls and smells, and at the very front you see an old lady and an old man together. They're selling like different types of like sweets, and so you can smell that. And it's just incredibly busy street, and so you end up going there. And Varen and the others, you guys all end up meeting up, and you see well, you can describe yourself because you're probably gonna do a better job than me, but
okay, how would I describe myself? Yeah, so I have been sort of secluded into the ocean living with the sea elf tribe, so I don't really understand I don't understand the way humans do things, hence my name is Ariel. Makes sense.
Yeah, she's actually eating one of the cakes off the old people's shack right now. And they're kind of like waiting for you to pay patiently.
That would be something I wouldn't really understand, because
Nope.
like our people would be sort of like, we don't really have laws. We just sort of live.
You dirty fucking communists.
Like, no, we like live
Oh,
in
they're a
and stuff. Like,
tribe.
we trade. We like we have a way that we run things, but it's not the way that is sort of the traditional way things are done on the surface. So I'll probably get myself into a lot of trouble.
You're currently in the process eating people's goods, and they're like expecting you to be like trying it and maybe paying and being a little weird. And you guys are noticing this lady is just like grabbing bites of one thing and like not liking it, and then looking at another thing.
I'm really enjoying myself though.
Mm-hmm. And like you are just like, there's so many flavors, and some of them taste like absolute ass, but some of these are just really good, and like every single one is different. She has a picture on the Airy Media part, and so she almost looks elvish, but she's like a light blue skin, and her ears are like a little bit more like rigid and have like tears in them. Long red hair, and I assume leather armor.
Yes. So I probably could give a better description of myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my skin would be like a light blue, very delicate scales, like hardly visible unless you were like up close to my skin and touching it. And there's like a slight pearlescent sheen to my skin. And then my voice is actually probably the most interesting. There's like a slight echo to it as if it were like a whale song. And then when I cry, basically my cry is a whale song. So if I'm ever crying, that's what you would hear. And then my hair, because it's a mutation between my parents, I have like almost fire genasi hair, except it doesn't, it's just the color and a slight glow to it. Which is one reason why my mother abandoned me, because I was so abnormal and she was ashamed.
Don't tell them too much about your background. All they see is you right now.
And my social
Okay, I
security
got a little excited there.
I have,
Yeah.
That's all good.
Get a pen out.
Can I get the 3 numbers on the back of your credit card?
Yes, please. Oh, and the expiration date. See, I'm not asking for the same data, so I can't really do.
Don't worry, this is over an encrypted connection.
Well, this just ties in with me not really knowing, so I'm
it's all
clueless
good.
there, guys.
It's all good.
But yeah, so I look really weird and sound really weird compared to everybody else
that
there.
we noticed already.
Yeah, they definitely are looking at you right now, and a lot of people are looking around, and you don't notice this currently, Ariel, but there's a couple of guards like murmuring nearby. But you guys end up seeing this because you see the whole scene panning out of this girl just like grabbing cake after cake and taking a bite and then just putting it back and taking another bite of one and just like in just disgust like drops it by accident and it just like falls on the floor. And the elderly couple you guys have talked to once before are like really sweet, and you can see they're like trying to like argue amongst themselves like, oh, no, you talk to her, like you talk to her.
Would we have seen like anyone who looks like her before?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Like
so
this-
I wouldn't even
yeah.
know that she was like a water elf or whatever.
No.
I would just be like, weird blue person.
Yeah, she actually doesn't even look like the sea phase that you saw in the Pool of Radiance. She's like completely new to you.
Cool. Okay, we'll walk over. We know the cake people. We can, yeah.
Wait, why are we walking over?
Because
Baron's walking over.
I want to get this crazy lady away from the nice elderly couple that's running the cake stand.
Oh, you're doing this. I don't give a shit. I
Yeah.
personally don't give a crap about it.
I mean,
Not
that's
my
90% of the
problem, not
interactions.
Yeah, Caradoc just sits down on the floor. It's like the Torbjorn emote.
Hey, I don't sit on the floor.
Checked out.
I put my wheelbarrow on the floor and then I sit in it because that's
That's even more awkward.
Yeah, that actually is pretty bad because you haven't cleaned it yet. And Baron didn't tell you, or Sean didn't tell you. You
Oh.
guys used it to move Devram.
Yeah, so we used your wheelbarrow to move Devram when he died because we couldn't super carry him very easily.
Okay, so I'm supposed to know
So we're a
that,
bunch
so
of
I'm not gonna
weaklings.
sit in my.
Yeah, maybe you flip it upside down and you sit on the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I
there
flip
you
it
go.
upside down. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Alright, so yeah, while you're eating your delicious and not so delicious cakes, you see a elf individual walk up to you.
I'm gonna be like, hey, you know you have to pay for those, right?
Pay? I don't think I understand.
With
What do you
like
mean pay?
with like money, and I'll pull like a silver out of my pocket and be like, money,
Like
He's-
valuable?
shiny gold, shiny metals, like this.
Oh, I have like gold necklace. I don't have gold on me. No.
What?
Should I should I give
Where-
her my necklace? Does she want my necklace?
Where are you? You're not from around here, are you?
No, and I don't think I'm supposed to be here. But I really want to
Right.
be here.
I'm gonna turn to the elderly couple,
Mhm.
and be like, "How much for this stupid cakes?"
He kind of like the old man looks at his wife, who just like giving him a look. He's like, how many of these? Oh, well, that one. No, that one. Yeah, that one's definitely has a bite in it too. It'd probably be about a gold actually, but
Okay.
I mean,
I'll-
we can happily just put it in a basket for you if you want to take them. We can't sell them now, but
I'll hand him a gold
okay. Yeah.
and be like, a basket would be nice too.
Okay, so he has like they have little woven baskets that you see the wife has like half-made ones like behind the stall. And he puts them all in a little basket and gives you it. So now you have a basket full of mini cakes now.
Cool.
Would you like to share these cakes with me?
I'm gonna hand her the basket and like lead her away from the shops.
All right. Yeah, you guys are on the street. There's a lot
Okay.
of people, by the way, for Ariel. Like, there's just so much movement everywhere. It's like a country person going into the middle of downtown Toronto. And there's just like so much shit going on at once.
I'm super distracted. I'm super excited. Hi, like, what's your name?
Hi. My name's Varen, and I'll reach to like shake her hand, but I don't know if she's gonna like know what that means.
You kinda know
So he's just got his hands sticking out.
It's not a firm grasp. It's like an awkward sort of same hand put into your hand. Like, not quite a handshake. It's like a
handhold.
I'm putting my hand in your hand and
It's
we're
like
pals. Like
a real
I
low velocity high five.
Yeah, but super awkward. But I'm really happy about it.
Are you slimy like a fish?
I'm clammy. So I would be like,
Ugh.
I would be
God.
cold.
This is miserable.
Have I offended you?
No. He doesn't say that. He's just like
Would it
surprised.
show on your face?
A little,
I mean,
yeah.
she can.
He'd
She,
be like,
you can roll an insight if you want to read them.
Thank you for the help back there. I didn't. This is all new to me. I've only just left my tribe today.
Okay. I understand. So Varen's from like the Wood Elf people. He's like from the forest and stuff. I'm assuming they also just sort of like barter and look after each other in those tribes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're probably a little bit more educated on the outside world
Yeah.
than some fucking mermaid
Yeah,
people.
you guys use barter system. You guys are aware, and you could use gold if you really wanted to, but you guys just choose not to. There's really no point unless you're dealing with other races.
Okay, I'll be like, I understand where you're coming from. I'm a wood elf. I'm from a tribe in the forests on another continent. I understand that dealing with money is very weird and hard to get used to. You seem to like those cakes. If you like the cakes, in order to get them, people don't just look after each other out here. You have to put in a little bit of work. And when you do, people will pay you, if they agree to, they will pay you with money. And again, I'm going to hold up like a silver coin.
Cool.
I'm assuming these are coins that are like etched, like they have little markings on them and
They
stuff,
have
right?
emblems, yeah. They have the.
Yeah.
You have like a weird mix of like old ones from the other place, but the newer ones have an emblem of the Divine Order, which is just like a shield with a sun behind it.
Yeah. As long as it's something more than just like a disc of
Yeah.
metal, I want to try to get the, idea across. Once you get some money, then you can go and buy fancy cakes or, alcohol or room at an inn or eagle feathers or a big jug of wine. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, eagle feathers.
Oh. So we don't have cakes where I'm from. They would just kind of fall apart and turn to mush. You wouldn't even be able to eat them.
Vern's
Under the
very
water.
confused.
I live under the water.
This makes a lot more sense.
No, it didn't. Well, I can't say.
Can you breathe up here? Wait, yes you can.
We, as you can see, we have a real good sense of deduction in the team.
yeah. The puzzle solving off the charts. Why are you here? I don't know if I've ever. Are you a mermaid? I thought they had tails, like instead of legs.
No, I'm not a mermaid. Have you heard of a genasi?
Hey Kelvin, have I heard of a genasi?
Ooh, roll a history check.
I don't think I'm very. Yeah, I'm not very good at history. 14.
Not really, no.
Nope, never heard of them.
Well, I am a genasi. Let's see if I can remember from what I read up. We are children of elementals or elements.
Yeah, so for you, Missy, you know what a genie is, right? Like a djinn?
Yeah.
It's a being of air. So there's the plane of existence that you guys live on, right? And then you have different other planes of existence. And some of them could be about emotion, such as like a Feywild, which is like Wonderland, and the Shadowfell, which is kind of like Mordor. Or you have planes that constitute different things in the universe that come together in your plane. So like fire, water, air, and earth. So each of those have an individual that's essentially like a genie that is a representation of that element. The one that we're aware of in, like, you know, genies and all that sort of stuff is known as a djinn, which is an air one. But you are run through a water one, with and you're not a pureblood.
No, I'm not. So I am a genasi. My mother was a water genasi, and my father was a human.
Interesting.
I don't know how to explain it. I was abandoned, so I've grown up with sea elves in the ocean.
Hey Calvin.
He kind of looks like one actually, but he's weird skin color. He's like a white skin color.
I think I'm like a copper color.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Wood elves are like a brown or
Like
green
almost like
kind of.
bronzish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have I heard of sea elves before?
Yes, you have.
Okay, now we're talking. Now we're getting somewhere.
Ooh, wonderful.
Does she look like a sea elf?
No.
Hell no.
Cool.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I would be completely abnormal to like everyone.
Yeah. These creatures are relatively rare. They come from a union of human and these spiritual creatures from each plane. So she's a little bit down the line where like a genasi that has already been a genasi has courted a human. So she's not like pure blood genasi, I guess you could say. So essentially a Merid, which is a fish-like water elemental that's essentially a genie of the water plane, eventually had kids with a human, and one of those kids ended up having her.
Okay.
Mhm.
So she's just a weirdo.
Yeah, essentially
Cool.
to the rest of the world. Like, I mean, she's got some similarities to an elf, but
Mm-hmm.
I would stand taller than a sea elf,
mm.
but not by much. But I am.
And they're a bit more like toned and like tougher. Like they're not as lithe as an elf, but that's kind of the. Other than the weird like element-esque things that kind of are part of her like anatomy in her body, she's relatively similar to what an elf would look like, or a sea elf.
Okay, she's got that sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keeping in mind my voice is still like, even when I talk, I can't mimic it.
Yeah, she's
but I
got
have
like a
that
slight
echo.
reverb. Yeah, she's got a little bit of a reverb to her.
And then my hair would actually float as if it's still in water, which adds to the weirdness.
So you're just super weird.
Yes. So thank you for coming to help me. I appreciate it. No one's come to me yet.
Yeah, you were about to get into some trouble.
Oh.
Some guards were probably gonna come arrest you, and you don't really want to get in trouble with the law. Just make sure you don't steal cakes anymore. I think I already asked. You won't tell me why you're not in the water anymore? That seems weird.
Oh. I'm not like my tribe, and I wanted to see the world, but they didn't really agree with that because they don't trust anyone on the surface. So they think I'm being very reckless.
Mm-hmm. So you ran away from home.
Yes. Yes. I suppose you could say that.
I can identify with that. I'll tell you what. Can you fight?
I have been known to fight, yes.
Does she have like weapons on her or anything?
It's up to her. She can tell you.
Anything like visible? I mean,
that's
like
up to
Varen,
her.
for example. You'd be able to see that he has like a bow, right?
Do you have any weapon in your equipment, Missy?
Oh, yes I do. Sorry, I'm pushing the wrong push to talk button.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm learning a lot of things today, guys.
Learning's good.
I do. I have a scimitar.
Alright. So she has it like
So she-
semi-holstered. This isn't like a full-blown holster. Like the blade's still exposed, but it is on her hilt.
Right. Okay. So she is at least competent enough to have a sword and not have stabbed herself with it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like saying a lot, really. You're a
For fun,
very
we usually
unique
fight with the
person.
sharks.
Wait, what?
For fun, in my tribe, we would usually go out and see who was the bravest and fight sharks.
God, Varen like hates the ocean. The open ocean is like just as bad as like caves to him.
Mm.
And so that sounds fucking terrible. I'll tell you what.
You look uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't like sharks. I don't like water. I just like forests, honestly. They're really the best.
Well, perhaps you can get me to like forests, and I can get you to like water.
You can try.
Challenge accepted.
If you want to earn some money so that you can buy some more of those cakes, my companions and I are about to go and try to track down a friend of a friend who's in a bit of trouble. If you tag along and you pull your weight, maybe we'll make sure that a little bit of gold comes your way.
I like this. And
Do
then
you know
perhaps
your-
maybe I could return the gold to you. You've already spent some. I would like to be able to pay you back.
That would be nice. I mean, it was
Wait.
only 1 gold, but that's sure. Yeah, that would be very nice
How
of
long?
you. It depends on how long you've been doing this sort of thing.
Yes, I see.
Okay, come on. I hand you the basket of cakes.
I am
Of
very
weird,
happily eating them and
tiny
following
cakes.
you.
Cool. They're pretty good. Most of them are good. Some of them have like flavors that you're just not used to. So you're like, ooh, what the hell? Like there's jelly in this one? Like, but yeah, they're very sweet.
I'm gonna walk over. I'm assuming that. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that Zenkor just kind of hung out with Caradoc.
Yeah, that's what I assumed as well.
I'll be like, hey, I found a weird chick. I met with Davos earlier today. He wants us to go check on a friend of his who's sort of in a bit of a rough way. It sounded pretty urgent. I kind of like the guy. I feel like we should go check it out.
Is he in trouble?
Yes. Davos said that he saw his friend stuck in a cage.
Then we must go help.
So she's on board. What do you say, Caradoc?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, sure.
And Zenkor goes, yeah, whatever. I'll buy you guys a beer on the way. I'm kidding.
Alright.
Very generous of you.
Did we ever... What happened with the fucking horse and carriage? We sort of like...
It's in the town center being cleaned. Like, you can kind of see it. They're like cleaning up the inside of it. Just like outside the town center, yeah.
Do I know how long of a trip it is to this, wherever we're going?
Not really, no. You know, it's like, you got basic directions from him. It is within a day of on-foot travel. Like, it is going to just take a few hours. So, if everything goes smoothly, you assume that it could be a same-day thing. But if it's a bit rough, you might end up coming back the next morning.
Okay, that's not so bad.
This is not something that's going to take like weeks like last time.
Yeah, we don't need we don't need to get on a vehicle and make a road trip out of it.
You would actually take longer in a vehicle because you've been in this forest. This is not like what Davos said about how the lodging camp just got abandoned. Like, that whole forest area is just like lost and just like they just said fuck it. So
is there anything I want to do before we leave?
Get some... Like, I guess we never refilled ever for food and drinks in our backpacks, but just...
Oh, like rations and stuff?
Of cakes.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, water's easy. I'm assuming that we refill water skins. That's... I don't know. If you're in town, I'm just sort of taking that as a free action.
I can produce water.
What?
I can make water.
Can you show me?
That's one of my skills. Oh, I gotta find it. But it is one of my skills.
Varen thinks you're talking about peeing.
She grabs her eyelid and extends it a little bit and
no, it's like this stupid Ripley's Believe It or Not bullshit or Guinness World Record. Do you have conjure or produce water or something?
I thought I did. Apparently I chose produce flame, but that is always changeable. I'm just saying. Calvin still has to go over all my spells.
I mean, you guys know that if you...
I have create or destroy water. There you
go. Okay, so she can make a cube of water appear in the air?
I can create up to 10 gallons of water.
Oh. Is that a spell or is that a cantrip?
I think it's a first level spell.
The spell.
Okay. Sorry, I'm refilling my water bottle. Sorry. I realized that was really awkward timing. I'm just very thirsty. We're talking about water. Yeah, actually, that's a really good question with rations and stuff. I've never... I think I have some from forever ago.
Yours is pretty much out.
Stuff as well. When I made my character, I have 10 rations. 10 days worth of rations right now.
Yeah. And then also, you have leftover jerkified deer
Yeah, and I have good berries and shit. Like I'm never really wanting for.
You're fine for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a few days, you guys might be hurting, but you're okay for now. And you're in cities now, so you've
It's
been
fine.
eating through a restaurant.
Yeah, once we get out into the forest, I can catch some food for us. Don't worry about it, man.
You're the one that was worried.
Easy. No, he was like, "Oh, what about rations and
yeah,
water?"
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
I kind of, since we're like rolling in dough now, I kind of want to go swing by the magic shop,
Okay, cool. So you guys all...
and just like peruse a little.
That's in the heart of the market. So for Ariel, you're walking by like open-ended. If you've ever played, you've played Elder Scrolls, so you like there are the open stalls that have like displays and everything else like that they set up each morning, and like there's armor and there's like jewelry and some of them just sell like there's a chocolatier that opens up every morning here to like advertise. There's a brewer that has a couple of kegs set up, a bunch of other things, and there's just like people everywhere. You're bumping into people nonchalantly and stuff like that too, all looking around, and you finally get to the heart of everything, which kind of smells really, really foreign to you. And for like Missy, it smells like someone took like 8 different sticks of incense and all lit them in a small room at the same time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I am not. Mm-mm.
Are we near that shitty incense
Yeah,
shop?
it's like right behind the store.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn to Ariel and be like, "Hey, don't touch anything." Okay.
I'm just gonna
Don't-
nod coyly, like I
Just-
understand, and just like keep my
just
hands
eat
in my
your
pockets
cakes.
as if I can't stop myself.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm gonna go walk up to the magic man.
Okay. Yeah, so you see a halfling individual, tanned, slick back hair. Yes, hello. And you've
Hey.
brought the other friend. How's it going?
Good.
What are you looking
Just
for?
back in town,
Mhm.
little break before we set off on another adventure. My pockets are a little heavy. I'm just kind of looking for something that might be useful for us or for me when we're off doing our adventuring, our fighting bandits and stuff like that. Do you have anything you can kind of recommend? Anything
Well, I do have a little cap right here. It's like a little leather cap. You can see a couple of like glyphs are like sewn into it, but it's not like a ugly thing. It's actually pretty nice looking. It allows you to breathe underwater. There's this right here, picks up a little gem, produces light. If you ever need fuck torches, am I right? Who needs one of those when you've got this baby? We've got right here, we've got a rod, and when you press this button, he like holds it up into the air, and when he presses the button, he lets go, and it just stays in place.
I've always loved those.
He's like, we've got one of these, and all it takes, and he grabs it again, and he presses the button. He's like, "What's that?" And there you go. Use it however you want. You want to, take camp, put up a little tent, and have something to hold your coat. Well, there you go. I'm sure an adventure like you has better uses than I do, but hey, fuck it, What else do we have here?
Do you have anything like I find myself I used to have a bit of an aid to my sight, and I kind of lost it. Do you have anything like a spyglass, I think is the term? Anything like that?
I have an actual spyglass. It's pretty hefty in price, though. You know what? I could probably sell it on sale, but it's still pretty expensive. I think it's like probably going for 900 gold right now. I'd probably sell it
alright.
for 800.
That is a lot.
Let me look. I'll see if there's anything I could help in. Might not be a spyglass. He's just like looking through stuff in one of his boxes he hasn't sealed yet. Fuck. God damn it. Wait, no. He's just like. He pulls out for a second and wipes his face, and he's got like some smoke in his face. Or like soot. One second, and grabs a cloth and wipes it off. And oh, I don't see anything that can really help you with that one. I'm sorry.
That was a bit of a stretch, I'll admit. You did catch my interest with that immovable rod, though. That's how much would that set me back?
That's gonna be a bit expensive again, but I'd say probably 500 gold pieces.
That's
Yeah, it's hard to make, hard to come by too.
And what about the nice little gem?
The gem? Probably
The glowy gem.
More, so 150.
Finally fixed my keyboard. Sorry about this, guys.
No, it's all good.
Jeez, I had to find another one that I had for 7 years, and it works still. I'm actually impressed. It's all dusty and shit, but it works.
I'm a little intrigued by the immovable rod just because it's such like a crazy utility item.
Yeah, it is one of those, like, the more clever you are with it, the more use you get out of it item.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a problem then.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm gonna take that fancy little rod.
Cool. All right. That'll be 500 then, my friend.
Count it all out and hand it over.
It's pretty easy to count
Awkwardly.
out. That's like your entire
lot.
bag of gold that you had.
Oh yeah, I would have had just like a bag of
Yeah.
500. Yeah, and just there you go, pre-counted, ready to go.
Beautiful. I thank you very much, and come back when you guys have money again. I might be here. I'm trying to get the hell out of this place. It's too poor for the likes of me.
Cool. See you later, and just turn around and walk away.
Cool.
That was like maybe the best exchange, like the politest exchange we've ever
Yeah,
had with
that's
this guy.
actually-
So
yeah.
I'm like, let's just get the fuck out of here.
This is a good day for him too. He just made what? How much gold? Like 850 gold this morning. That's pretty good. So, and he's been he's been bitching to you guys about how he's been making no money. So that's a lot of money. That's like
Cool. I'm just adding this.
Guys, how do I get rid of my picture in Roll20?
I don't know.
Of your picture.
Oh, I don't know. I
I don't know how to
minimized
change
them all.
mine.
I don't know how to show them.
I don't even know how to change mine.
I have like a video.
Uh,
It's not me, it's a video.
I do not know actually how you do this.
Yeah, I don't know how it ever changed.
How
But-
did this? Oh,
Yeah.
is it in your? Oh, you have to go to Roll20, not that page, but actual Roll20, I think.
Oh,
Oh, like
Roll20.net,
your
and then you go to
profile.
your profile settings. Yeah.
Okay.
That.
Alright.
All right. Anything you guys
Okay.
want to do to set up, or is that?
no, I mean, I think that's all I really needed to do. We're pretty like set to go anytime, really.
Okay. All right. You guys good?
Yeah, it's just
I'm
adding
always
that.
good, man. Like the fact that
Inventory.
you're asking makes me a little.
Okay. So you guys end up going. You're following Varen's lead because Varen kind of knows where he's going. And you
Yeah,
end
I
up
can
going.
navigate.
Yeah, you guys
Do
end
I
up.
really have to trust this elf? Really, Jesus.
I can follow a road.
Yeah, you end
Yeah, I'm
up
not
taking.
so sure. Okay.
You take a small road that's not quite an alleyway that curves off towards the west and goes in the opposite direction that you guys usually take to go to the forest that shits on you regularly. And You eventually like enter it. It's pretty quick. Like Mora's like along the side of this forest, and it's on a hill. And you eventually get to like a small path that's kind of like man-made by like a singular person path, and you guys are following that for a while. Surprisingly easy with the aid of Varen kind of showing you guys like, oh, be careful of this, like moving stuff around as he's leading, which is helping a lot because there's probably like certain parts where like you have to try and navigate around shit, and he just makes it a little easier for you guys and saves you some time. You eventually come to where you ended up taking a rest, which was a little slight opening in the trees, and you curve around and you start seeing the forest open a little bit more between the trees density, and you can start hearing and seeing the coast at the very base of the hill that you're on. And make a perception roll.
Ooh,
Anyone who's interested, yeah, on roll 20.
Perception. Oh, yeah, I am interested.
So what I usually do, Missy, for future reference is when I say things like that, if you want to, just do it, especially when in doubt. Because I don't let people go, oh, you failed, like I will do it, you know what I mean, like, oh, yeah. So if you're doing it, you're doing it, sort of thing.
Sorry, I'm still learning. It's the rolls are the thing that I stuck at the most, because I
that's fine.
Don't remember the codes for all of them.
It's the slash
I do know my
R.
perception is +6 though.
Yeah,
so if you're on roll 20, you can actually click on the little die on the top left of the screen, and then there's a, oh my god, they actually did an even better way of doing it.
The hover thing is weird. I would still just click it, and then it brings up a little window.
Yeah, it's called the dice
Okay, so
roll.
but the perception is the 1d20 plus 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost everything except for... Basically everything except for like damage is a d20 plus something.
Chance is usually determined by d20.
Yeah.
So, any skill roll where I tell you, hey, roll athletics, hey, roll a constitution save, any of those sort of things that are on your little character sheet there is a d20. So 12,
what's d20
19,
plus your modifier
16.
plus your proficiency?
Yeah, she has it all sorted out. So
also remember that I can see super fucking far.
Yeah,
and you
even rolled that
within 100 feet. Okay.
So Caradoc, you end up usually you're kind of the guy that notices things last, unless it's dark, and then screws Encore. But you immediately see a fire off in the distance, close to the coast, but kind of behind a little rocks a little bit. And just in the opening of the rocks, you can start seeing the fire just going like a huge bonfire.
With my eagle eyes, I can see a fire in the distance.
We're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Varen, you can see there's opening in the cliffside just across from the beach. And it's still mostly covered by tree cover, but you can see the opening, wide opening, and log reinforcement that they used, kind of like a mine, to keep the opening from caving in on itself. And you assume that this is kind of like where they're talking about. You can also see near it, there's a lot of fallen logs that have been like arranged, but have overgrowth on them, as if they haven't been touched for a very long time. Someone just cut them up, put them down, and let nature just take care of it. As far as Ariel sees, she hears the familiar sound of the ocean, and sees a couple of like crabs and stuff on the beach, and a couple of animals skittering about when they notice that you guys are getting a little too close to them. They're not used to people.
Huh.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that the like mine is where we need to go. Does that feel right? Or like,
I mean, there's
like the cave thing, I mean.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely something there, as far as you and Caradoc can see.
Yeah. But like, do I have any clues from what Devos told me of like what kind of an area I'm looking for?
It's the general location, and these are definitely like 100% like cleanly cut logs. They're just overgrown with like fungus and shit now. So like you can see like the edges are completely cleanly cut, and then there's just mushrooms and stuff growing on the edges of them. So you assume that this was at some point some sort of lodging something. You don't really do lodging.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a general area that was described to you. There's logs cut. That's what you understand people do.
All right, sure. Yeah, we'll go check it out.
All right.
Go a little closer.
All right, cool. And Alright. As you get closer, you guys see the bonfire is huge. It's taller than you guys by a couple of feet. It's probably a good 10 feet tall. And it's kind of the layout of the forest kind of starts dying out and goes into a beach opening in which the like overgrown logs are at the very edge of the forest and where the beach meet. And the beach is really rocky here. You have outside of the forest, alongside it is this huge cliff face, which has an opening to some sort of cave that's been done by man. And there's just huge jagged rocks that come out of the beach side, like black rocks that almost form like the back of some sort of animal or scales, you know, like coming out like in two rows, forming like a pseudo hallway that people have used to go up into it and back down. And in between the two like rows of rocks, you see that gigantic bonfire that's much taller than all of you. And you see at the very top of that hill, close to where the entrance is, there's a little opening to the right of it, if you're looking from the water perspective. And it's just an opening with like just remnants of saws and random assortment of workbenches and things that have just been completely abandoned, and then one cage, and inside you see a large, probably 8 to 9 foot long wolf that is just stuck in this cage, just sitting staring towards you guys.
You said there were like saws and stuff?
Yes.
Did you mean to say that this is a logging camp?
Yeah.
Not a lodging?
Oh, yeah. It's for like... yeah,
God, that makes so much more sense.
That was probably the confusion then. Yeah, it's for...
Okay.
Yeah, it's for timber and for mining.
Yeah. I understand way more now. Okay. That was distracting me. Sorry, I got... did we go into the cave?
No, you guys are like at the beach forest kind of barrier here.
Okay. And there's a cage with a wolf in it. Do we see any like people around? Like, is there anyone near the bonfire?
You can make another perception check, yeah.
Let me do another one as well because I'm so good.
Shouldn't we all be making perception? I mean, we're
all looking. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I'm assuming, I don't know, and I don't want to know how Calvin does it, but I'm assuming that if we do all a perception check and then someone does a really bad one, it's going to lower what we globally see, because otherwise, like, we'll always do it all.
Usually I like it all at once, regardless. But yeah,
yeah.
If she wants
it's
to
like
do
each of us sees what we see, though.
Yeah.
It's like if you roll a natty 20 and I roll a 1, I'll be like, I don't see shit. I got distracted by a stick on the ground. And you're like, you'll see everything, and then your character can tell my character, like, oh, I saw blah, blah, blah.
Also, does it specify that your spirit totem of the eagle is rage-induced?
It is not rage induced. I
Okay.
always have it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just like the
That's
bear
pretty
stuff,
cool.
right?
Cool.
It's like the bear, yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. So you and Ariel end up seeing a hulking figure sleeping kind of in a brush on the opposite like in the opening where all the saws are and everything else like that. The opening to the cave is to the left of it, and opposite to it is this hulking, like dark, almost like dark clay and dirt colored figure that just is slowly breathing in and out. It's
And this is on a beach.
massive. Yeah.
Would I know if this is a water creature?
No, it is not. You don't recognize
Okay.
it anyway.
Okay.
It is. Yeah, it is something that is just absolutely massive. Like, it's probably the size of the entrance to the mine, and the mine entrance is like 20 feet tall.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's like a giant or something.
it's a giant something, yeah.
Yeah. I want to go take a look at the giant wolf thing.
Okay. It's pretty
Is that
close
nearby?
to the, yeah, they're all in the same little, like, camp
Okay,
area.
okay.
Yeah.
I think maybe we get a little closer and try to get a better look, I guess.
Okay. You just walking up?
I mean, stealthily.
Okay. If you're
Not
going
trying to-
stealthily,
trying to
then yeah,
sneak
roll,
around.
roll for stealth. You just gotta let me know if you're doing that. I mean, everyone has to roll for that.
But we're all
Mm,
stealthing. Oh shit.
Rip.
And that's gonna be the last thing we do.
I didn't roll very
which-
well.
It's stealth.
Which skill is that?
Dexterity.
It's
is
under
stealth.
dexterity.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking. Oh, I'm getting no.
And Caradoc has to roll too.
You said what? Sorry.
Stealth.
Stuff?
Stealth.
Stealth.
Stuff. Okay, I'm going to roll
Sneaky.
stuff.
Yeah, roll the stuff. Stuff.
Okay. So, I
So
don't
far,
have
not
to-
looking too hot.
It's not great. It's really not.
Guys, this is my first adventure above the ocean.
I'm almost the most. I'm more.
Yeah, actually,
I'm
I'm the most
stealthier than a
stealthy in this
fucking elf.
situation.
So I'm just.
Yeah. As you guys
Oh my
step
God.
forward, Ariel gets distracted and kind of makes an excited cry when you see what is usually really rare to you, a type of crab that is like actually blue with yellow dots. And when you go to shush her, Varen, you end up tripping on some old equipment that's in the sand, and you just hear metal on metal clanging. And because the saw is like relatively malleable, you just hear like, and it's just like a loud, almost thunder-esque noise.
Good. Good.
It's a hot mess.
You see it moving now in response to that sound, and we'll just leave it there.
Guys, I dropped my fucking cakes. Come on now.
Alright, so we'll do next Sunday.
Sounds
Same time.
good.
Perfect.
We do
Let's see.
7 o'clock.
Okay.
It depends on
Make sure
which
it's on my
region
calendar.
you are.
Well, I was
should
saying
be
for
there.
her region.
Yep.
She's on the East Coast.
Rob might not be there next week.
What?
Yeah, there's just like, this is something that's severely serious. I don't want to talk about it too much, but yeah, he might not be next week.
What an asshole! I can't believe that he's going to skip 2 weeks in a row.
I don't know. Who
He's
does
basically
that?
the worst, yeah.
No, but I'm saying that I skipped three weeks in a row. I'm just saying.
You skipped like 4.
Yeah.
You were gone for a while.
Was it 4? No, it was. Oh, maybe 4. You're actually right. Jesus
4
Christ.
sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, it was 4. It was
I
3
missed
for the
you.
trip and then 1 for the family thing.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. I was. Yeah, it would have been hilarious.